So one thing I wanted to ask about, and you know, listening to the cast and what Dean Brandon was saying, he said, you know, when they won that final battle, right? They didn't care about Fire Giant. They didn't care about because they just went straight for it. And he said that's what I wanted to see. I wanted them to just go straight for the finish. You know, is that? I have to ask, you know, obviously on your perspective, Ally, and Zimp, you know, chime in on as well on this. Is that just what you would have done in that situation, or would you have thought, you know what, maybe we regroup and not risk it just yet?
Like, let me just be clear, but to know when you can end a game like that takes extreme knowledge. I mean, I think most teams would actually go for Fire Giant at that point. I mean, I think they were like walking towards it. I just did some like ping in the Phoenix, and I was just like, are they gonna end the game? And they did. I mean, it takes extreme knowledge. I mean, because if you fail that, you might throw the game.
That's one of the things I think North America prides themselves in compared to Europe, because a lot of the top teams in North America, we know when it's over. We know we don't need to touch Fire Giant. We know, like, all right, that's it. Because at least from my experience of watching European tournaments and just like looking at them, it's a lot of back and forth, like late game, and that's like exciting and all. But there's also a lot of missed opportunities to just end the game. Like, I don't want to play anymore. End the game. Just kill the Titan, because the long respawn timers and keeping note of the time is just really important. But at least for the top 4 NA teams like Dignitas, Complexity, and the Cog Boys, you know, you give us like one decent team fight, the game's over. You don't need FG.
The beauty of this, you know, of 2 games we've seen Serket, it hasn't been that much of a factor. I mean, obviously was strong early. Gars is going to hit these kind of numbers regardless of what he's playing, so it's very surprising. But look at this. I mean, you can see that there wasn't a single Fire Giant taking this entire game. This was just a really big green-colored arena.
There was no room to take a Fire Giant. I mean, there was always fights going on.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the game that was like the most even for the longest time up until this point. And like, whenever you looked at the game, it was just someone fighting somewhere. There was no real like wipe from one team to actually facilitate, you know, taking objectives. But when they did, they ended the game.
Yeah, Allied.
I mean, overall, like, as you saw throughout these games, big, tanky team comps were the name of the game. I mean, like, DVO's legit just built full tank. Like, he built like Jotun's Wrath, and he was like, that's all the damage I need, buddy. It's like,
yeah.
These are guys that are building full tank from mana, extremely tanky, and it takes a while to kill these guys. Devios alone would buy up to 60 seconds with him just with the meditate baits and just being a big nuisance. And that's literally, I think that's what they put Devious on the team for. All right, you got to go to soul lane, farm, and just be annoying, and then we're going to win the game. And he's like, okay. Because that's really what they're there for. They take up a lot of presence in team fights. You have to focus them because they hit so hard, but you don't want to because the rest of their team are squishy hyper carries. So you ignore them, and then they just become a huge problem. Yeah. And that's generally why I believe the NA tanky meta is just like, you know, every game you see like the Mana solo Osiris. That's just the way it is. A strong front line complemented with a nice hyper carry back line is the way to go.
One thing I also wanted to note in that map control graphic was Cog Prime had 55% map control.
Right.
Versus Cog Red with 45.
Right.
Okay, think about that. Cog Prime, throughout that matchup, they were in the driver's seat at one point. Then, of course, things kind of fell apart. You know, then they got back in, and then it was just neck and neck. Now we're going into game 2. Cog Prime needs to turn that map control into a victory, Drybear.
They really do, and you know, honestly, I think that all came down to Hercules. It was a lot of focus of let's kill Hercules, and they could have been playing the Benny Hill music from production, and it was just running around trying to kill him. Sylvanas gone, Aoguang gone, Vulcan gone, Osiris gone, and Cognitive Prime has first pick yet again. Cognitive Red has elected to give that up.
They're going to go Hercules. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same thing.
The problem
is this a VOD? Or is this playing like a VOD of the last one?
I swear we were just here. Just a little while ago. And you saw how quick those bans came up too.
Yeah.
Not a single moment wasted. Just, you know, right away with those bans, knowing exactly what the other team is going to do. But look there. They haven't penciled it in yet.
It's the same too.
It is, but they haven't selected it.
It worked so great. Eonic kept the pressure off with those taunts. Zipstar, you've played almost every role, right? So what does Athena bring as a teammate?
So much CC. I mean, her taunt is insanely strong. If you just play it right, so you go in and taunt, force beats and cooldowns, get out,
Whoa.
get back in
They
again.
took Hercules, so Anher was picked on the other side. Hercules was grabbed. Geb gets selected right
Yeah,
away.
and Geb, on top of it, if you shield the Herc on top of his heal, I don't know how you can kill him. You can just tank the entire
Oh
team by
my
yourself.
goodness.
I'm honestly confused about that pickup. Maybe I guess probably for the penetration passive, but I don't see why there's such a high
And
value
surely
on
they
her
must
all
have
of a
known that Prime would have just picked up Hercules afterwards, right? I mean,
they must be okay with it because they get Nemesis. Fair enough.
Nemesis can shred the HP of, Herc. Even if, no matter how tanky he is, with the chins and her ultimate, I mean, at least he can shred his HP down a little bit, but with a Geb there, I'm not sure if that's enough.
This could be Ionic. Look, ooh, there's a Scylla ban against MLC
Scylla did
Stealth.
cause a lot of problems in that last
That's
game.
right. They could be looking to just pick up a weakening curse on Athena and just look for a bursty lineup. I mean, honestly, 100% reduction in healing against Herc is going to prevent the mitigate wounds from going off, and if you kill him inside of it, it's enough. And I think the problem that happened last game is Divios got fed early, which makes it impossible to kill him. He got the tower, he got a first kill in the lane against Omega, and maybe this is Cogred saying, hey, Omega, you can have him. Look what we can do with him. You can't do the same thing.
I mean, the
Poseidon
thing
gets
is,
locked.
Omega got destroyed in lane last game. I mean, Divas just got rolling so fast. I think they just need to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Last two picks coming through.
Oh. I knew it. See, I told you. I knew he was practicing Nox. I knew he was practicing it.
Shibalanki though?
Yes.
Why?
There's a lot of combos here. Shibalanki is going to start the team fights for him. And realistically, when you try to get to the back line, you pop that Shibalanki ultimate, it's going to stop them from doing it. Oh, Barrick, he's just trolling now.
I love these guys, man. They're awesome. They are awesome. Giving the crowd a good run here.
It's messing with my head, man, because every time I'm like, oh, that might actually work. And then he just...
And then he swaps it.
Okay.
Well, I knew MLC Stealth was practicing Nox. It's something he's been using for the last month.
Apollo
See?
gets
There it
picked.
is,
If Nox gets locked in as well, what's Cogred's final pick? Your dreams are shattered. Sorry about that, buddy.
Shibalanki.
Poor Shibalanki.
Maybe Vamana here?
Maybe in the finals, maybe in Kanto.
Oh, Shibababa.
All right. Last pick.
Fenrir solo.
Fenrir coming through.
Is that Fenrir solo?
All right.
Fenrir solo.
So let's
Divios.
see how this plays out, folks. We jump in game number 2. Cog Prime, Cog Red. Take it away, Brandon and Bart.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy and Dry Bear. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commentary desk for game number 2. It's Cognitive Red versus Cognitive Prime. And, well, we got the Doge.
That's right. Fenrir is going to be picked into Hercules. Now, guys, just like when we saw him against the earlier teams, I don't expect he'll be leveling Brutalize here. Unchained will be leveled for Wave Clear. That's the jump. If he hits a god, the cooldown gets reduced by half, which will be big. Another point here is that everyone should be very upset with Barracuda, with trolling us with Cupid, and I'm out.
And then picking Apollo, like the most safest of all of the hunters. But it's a Nox also out on the side of Cognitive
Yes.
Gaming. MLC Stealth is certainly very capable, as you saw with the Scylla, of playing these less than popular mid lane mages.
Right.
And it'll be going into a Poseidon here. This is actually an interesting game to me to pick the Nox. Or rather, it's a good game for the Poseidon pick, because Poseidon, Nox's main advantage is the level 1 through 4 wave poke.
Right.
Her ability to get you out of lane, but Poseidon, bar none, the safest clearer in the game.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so as
Maybe
well.
Afro.
Yeah, Afro may be a little safer, but Poseidon has it at level 2, and Afro not
Yes.
till about level 5
That's
to start
true.
getting free clear. So MLC Stealth actually should have a pretty challenging time in this lane to get ahead.
That's true. But he can also consume the Kraken, assuming that the Whirlpool doesn't tick it off.
Sure,
The shield is going to be a 50-50 on this one. And if he gets picked off, it's going to be rough.
That's going to be a tough matchup, but ladies and gentlemen, let's head on into the game. Welcome to game number 2 with a 1-game advantage. Cognitive Red is sitting over Cognitive Prime. Let's take a look at your rosters. The blue team on the bottom side of the mini-map and the left side of your spectator UI. They're wearing the blue trunks, and they're representing the number 2 seed in North America. It's Cognitive Prime. Andenster in the jungle as Thor. Barracuda matching up with Jeff Hindline, the duo lane as Apollo and Geb. MLC Stealth as the Nox, and that leaves Omegatron in the solo lane as the champion of Rome, Hercules.
They're going to be going up against Cognitive Red, number 1 seed coming out of North America, and certainly the favorites to win the tournament coming into this. We're going to find Snoopy and Ionic once again go into the duo lane as Anher and Athena, the Boosh, once again reprising his role in the mid lane as Poseidon. Dagars opting into Nemesis for the jungle, and finally Divios going in with Fenrir.
Super greedy start here from Cognitive Red. It's the Death Toll Nemesis.
That, and we also have a Heavy Hammer Fenrir.
Yeah, this item was nerfed about, 3 months ago, about 4 patches ago now. He's empty. This is the only item he's going to have, and it's the only item he will have for the early inning stage.
No Hand of the God start, and considering they didn't use the speed ward, they used the blue ward on the right side, they're not going to be able to spot the fact that they're not going to have the clear for this properly, and with that, they're not going to have the invade advantage. Make sure to place those wards correctly, guys. They're not going to have the presence.
Yeah, but they will be able to contest the
they're
blue
still
buff,
going.
Likely will.
They're still going.
Omega and Andy, they want to turn the corner here. They're going to fight in the Divya, so they see the heavy hammer now, and Cog Red is going to abandon their blue buff and move to lane. No, they're going to trap Omega in. There's a slow proc coming up from Divios.
Yeah, they have double hand here. A lot of damage onto Divios, but beautiful on Chain, gonna get the double stun. Andy in a lot of trouble, but getting him out of jail. Omegatron, double driving strike.
Slows.
We're gonna check out.
Oh, again, Divios with a big double stun, and Omega takes a spill. Once again, Cognitive Red, they get kills early on here. Andy in a lot of trouble.
Divios already level 2. He opts into Brutalize. I don't know if he's gonna have the opportunity. I appreciate the double tap, Andy, but you're still gonna hold that one.
Yeah, and now he's going to be forced to basically just leech XP underneath the tower here. Omega does rally back quickly, but it's a really early teleport to towers.
Now remember, Omega went into the Death Toll, but he also went into Hand of the Gods, right? So that's a lot of effectively wasted gold if the Hand of the Gods doesn't get used.
Yes.
They wanted to double hand the blue, and they didn't get the opportunity because Divios got 2 AoE stuns off at level 1.
And now Divios, you can see his positioning, taking to the left side of the lane, trying to force them away from this blue buff. And now it's going to be started up by Cog Red.
This is why you go hand 2, guys. Degars has gone into hand 2, and they're guaranteeing... Nope, almost. Almost.
Yeah, they still get it. Divios is able to pick that one up. Omega, he's going to be without the benefit of infinite mana in the solo lane.
That's right. Omega has gone into teleport, so expect him to be doing some pretty harsh rotations, but that's not going to be until later. Gold Fury attempts, mid lane ganks, and it's going to be very hard for him to gank Boosh.
So also notable here is that meditation build that we saw to Divios will not be the case for Omegatron with that Hand of the Gods teleport to towers.
That's right, and honestly, I don't know how much use he's going to get out of the Hand of the Gods, considering most of the jungle has already been stripped.
Yeah, it's certainly not in the first few waves, just lane control versus a Fenrir question mark? Like, he's not a big pusher.
Right. Bottom side, speed buff, or rather red buff does get taken by
Young Hercules.
Left, or rather right side, yeah, a lot of damage getting taken on both sides. Divios getting very low. Runes will be activated at this point. That's why he's backing up. He's looking for the bait for the stun.
Oh, here comes Andy to leap.
Oh, that was bad. That was a bad
Divios
idea.
is going to
Bye-bye.
Oh, Brutalize takes him out of range. Well played, and now they're going to try for Gars. Gars with a double dash. Looking A-OK. Omega, can he hit the Earthshaker? No.
Dodges it.
It's dodged very, very nicely there by Gars. A very brilliant play.
Mid lane, Boosh gonna get the stun off with the ultimate from the back. A lot of damage taken, but not enough to finish it off. Stealth with a huge swing there.
Yeah, and that's really the danger of this matchup. Even with that superior lane clear, as we mentioned on the back of the side, Nox still able to bully him.
Man, Nox is a character that a lot of people are asking, why aren't we seeing him in the community tournaments? Why aren't we seeing her, in these weekly events? Everyone thinks that she's like secret technology and that they're going to be the person to show how strong she is. But both Pretty Prime and apparently MLC Stealth have her on deck, and so far they're really showing how strong she can be.
Yeah, Nox. I agree as well. She doesn't really seem like special tactics to me. It's a very straightforward god. She dominates the lane and then brings some amount of pressure to the mid game as long as you can keep her clear of the enemy assassins.
Wait, which could be possible. I mean, considering they have a Geb shield, they have Thor peels, they have Herc peels, and then her just rain in hell from the backfire. I mean, it could be very strong, but if someone makes it in, man, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, I mean, Nemesis is going to be able to close that distance, but Nemesis is going to have to run down Nox, and Nox is going to be able to pepper her with a lot of magical damage, and the Fenrir, the only other real threat to close the distance.
Oh,
It's
Gars.
an interesting thing. Yeah, Gars could be in some trouble here, but unlikely to... Oh, yeah.
That's
Yikes.
painful. Kraken going to be down there. There comes Divios, going to pick Andy up and send him into hell.
But here comes Barracuda knocking back the targets. Divios forced out of this fight. The Thor stun is there. MLC Self is surging forward. He wants more kills.
Got him.
There's a silence boulder over the top.
Got
Oh, racist Gars. Omegatron with the rotation, coming in late and finding himself a kill. It's 2-2 at 4 minutes.
That was 100% unequivocally Barracuda winning that team fight almost by himself. This save that he put down by throwing the across the sky into the fight sent away all of the targets that Divios could have set up, and instead they turn around the fight and suddenly we have a 2-2 game.
Oh, and Cognitive Prime is going to
This
take
is
a
a bad
look at that
idea.
Gold Fury.
This is a
Barracuda,
bad idea.
As you can see, tanking it up, and they're only going to down to about, well, half HP now. Ionic is here, as is Snoopy. Ionic charges forward. Omega forced a lot of damage into the Desert Fury, but the
dead.
Nox ultimate is real. Ionic is dead to right, and they're going to go ahead and ignore him, but in comes Anderson to secure that one. They're zoning out Snoopy. Jeff Hindla is here. Here comes Gars as well, though, and this could be a big
I got
play.
it.
They get it. Cog Prime securing the Gold Fury.
Jeff
4.5
falls.
minutes.
Omegatron not in a great spot here, not enough mana to be able to jump away. Only 54 in the pocket, needs to be able to slow Slice and Dice on cooldown for 3 more. She'll get away, the jungle will be stripped, but I'm sure they're screaming worth.
Yeah, definitely worth it there. It's a 4-man back and a big play for the jungle camps on the left side for Cognitive Red, but that's just a pittance for them. They really wanted to contest that Gold Fury successfully and force the reset.
Honestly, if from COG Gaming, that was 100% a gamble. There was no guarantee, there was no hand 3. They were gambling. They were all inning right there.
This is where teleport to towers is really coming into effect. Hercules is going to get a lot of free farm, uncontested farm in this right side lane. An entire 2 waves pushed into the tower.
Oh yeah, and you know that he's also going to get some damage on the tower. He's going to be able to back off safely off the 3-man rotation. With that, Divios and Boosh are going to duo the speed or the blue buff, which is very curious to me.
Yeah, especially without the Bumbas mask, right? You did do Death Toll and Nemesis, so this is actually not gold efficient.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big detriment to the team. Snoopy gets picked off by Andy as they rotate to the left side. Barracuda, of course, grabbing the assist on that one.
Yeah, and there's going to be a blue buff invade as well here as Jeff Hindler and Anister are going to rally for this one. Poseidon is rotating over for Boosh Kraken at the ready, but only sitting at level 7. It's not going to be enough first to take out one of these targets dead to right.
Omega finally going to be able to grab a blue buff here. Oh, what is this? He might be in some trouble. The Geb shield, though. Oh, whoa, they're backing off.
Just too speedy as Boosh, as Ionic is rotating forward as well. But here comes Barracuda, and now they're going to look for the fight as the Apollo has Gars in disguise. Yeah, it's going to be MLC stealthing Gars into the target, and Anister's going to miss that dash, and he's right out. And that's a Nemesis ultimate blown.
Yeah, that was a complete waste there. Generally speaking, we should not be seeing Nemesis ults being sent into Thor or into Nox. We should always be seeing them sent into Hercules.
Yeah, it just strips so much of his protections away and just gives him such a great opportunity to burst down an otherwise nearly unkillable god.
So let's take a look at the charts here for player damage. Nox, amazingly, somehow 3,269 damage, clearly on top. About 500 damage over Snoopy right now, who has 3 over Barracuda. Those are going to be your top 3, and I don't think anyone is surprised by that.
Right side mid camps go the way of Cognitive Prime. Anister, he's going to take a bit of damage from Gars, but without that ultimate, they can't aggress in there.
That's true, and with the Omega waiting in the wings, had they gone in, I'm sure they would have felt the pain.
Left side camps, Anister's the first one to make the rotation over there. No ability to go through the walls on the side of Cog Red, so this could very well be going to Prime, but no, they've been chased off by the Nemesis and Athena combination so far.
I'm not sure what they're looking for here. Andy does not have Hand of the Gods. First one goes down. Second one will stand. It looks like Ionic is still trying to make a play for this, though it's more than likely just going to go in the other direction.
Nox is going to be able to secure that one with her number 2, and now the ultimate coming out of Ionic. Ionic in between a rock and a hard place here, and Geb is the rock that stops the dash. Here comes Barracuda on the rotation, and they will get that kill. Credit to MLC Stealth. No Gold Fury to take this time, boys.
You know, sometimes when you're watching it from this perspective, it's hard not to judge because we don't know what they're thinking. I'm sure Ionic's going to go back and watch that play and go, wow, I should not have done that.
Yeah, it wasn't worth the 1 mid camp.
Not by a long shot. That's going to be a fair respawn. He's already back up. He's level 7 right now, comparatively to Jeff, who has procced into 8.
And ultimate online as well if they look to aggress around the map, but nothing cooking for them. Divios having a hard time really maintaining lane control here in this lane.
All right, so looks like Boosh going to rotate over towards the left side. Not 100% sure what he's looking for. Trying to maybe spot out a push opportunity. Barracuda's going to head back. Jeff Himla's going to hang out in the jungle with a sentry ward. Right side, Divios again takes a lot of damage, and his teleport is on cooldown.
Mid lane now. Poseidon trying to find his way back in. Gars is there to help him, and MLC Stealth putting his damage out. Dead.
Bye-bye.
Wow, look at that burst. And now they're going to try to get a return kill on MLC Stealth. His ultimate is down. Taking to this guy is Anister. Maybe the re-engage coming out, but unlikely underneath the tower. Snoopy's thinking about rotating over. They're going to ping him out, and that's going to be all she wrote. It's a free kill in the mid lane for Prime.
Cognitive Gaming now up 3 kills, plus 2,500 gold, 3,100 experience, which is rising by the second. Divios out of mana, out of health, and out of teleports. He is going to be in a bad spot and definitely going to lose some experience.
Yeah, Andy makes his way over. They're going to spot him out on the rotation. No ultimate available for Andy either, means that there's nothing cooking here. He's going to go sniff out this orange buff, but it was taken just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he doesn't have the timers here. He actually just pinged them out, calling for Omega, but nothing was going to happen there.
Yeah, Omega and Andy going to clear the right side lane. They're going to stack up a little bit of XP and gold for themselves and fall right back.
So both Gars and Divios, despite getting the first blood, first assist option over towards their side of the jungle, they have both fallen down in both experience and gold, notably thanks to the Gold Fury, sure, but the experience difference is fairly prominent.
Gold Fury going to be back up in 5 seconds now. Barracuda picking up his blue buff on the left side. Snoopy has been pretty quiet this game on the on her. We need him to be involved if Cognitive Red is going to have a comeback.
Oh, jumping down from the backside, three-way split. Andy, of course, utilizing that Bumpus mask, and we have a rollout by Jeff Hindla to try to get over towards the right camps, which are blinking. This might be a forced hand of the gods.
His blink is not up. Yeah, they're going to be able to force out the hand of the gods and maybe find a bit more as MLC Stealth moves in for the ultimate.
Silence.
Finds the silence out onto Boosh. There's a teleport coming into that ward. Here's Omega, but they're not going to be able to get much off of this, and they've made a big rotation to the right side.
Yeah, that was actually huge. And with the Gold Fury up, and given the fact that they're not in a great spot on the Cognitive Red side, I don't see how they're going to pressure in. Barra steals away the blue buff. Snoopy, already low mana, doesn't have presence in this fight. You're looking at an impale and maybe a jump. No ultimate is going to happen here unless he just does it alone.
Kraken comes out, nothing cooking. Jeff Hindla getting very low as well. MLC fight still in the middle of this fight. Gar is going down very low as Barracuda comes crashing in. And he takes to the sky as MLC Stealth has not died just yet. But there he does go down as the crash comes down. Anister is looking for Boosh. Will find him with that Berserker's Barrage as well. And the fight continues at the Gold Fury. Divio sleeping out. Omega and Barra going to try to chase this down.
That's going to be a 3-for-2 exchange in favor of Cognitive Gaming. Again, Omega exerting dominance everywhere. They're likely going to turn their sights to the Gold Fury and only really Ionix to stop them. Luckily, Ionix, the person that wants to stop them the most. Oh, he's backing.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Recall.
He's letting it go.
Yeah, they're going to let this one go to Cognitive Gaming. The second Gold Fury of the game could go the way of the boys in blue.
Absolutely. You know, first game wasn't really dominant. It was a back and forth exchange starting at basically the 4 or 5 minute mark. In this case, Cognitive Gaming has just straight up had the rush since the beginning.
Yeah, it has definitely been their game, and you're absolutely right, right on the nose there, that the last game was very much back and forth. It was anyone's game to pick up, and here Cognitive Prime has asserted dominance. The Nox pick seems very, very successful for them. They've got a lot of control, but on the side of Red, I mean, this feels like I'm not sure where the Fenrir fits into this combination. Obviously, the Ragnarok and Athena ultimate combination, the Ragnarok and the Kraken combination are both very, very powerful, but it's so difficult to execute something like that that takes 4 or 5 seconds to unfold against a professional level team.
That's true, and honestly, Fenrir doesn't get a lot of damage. He's going to be significantly less tanky and less damaging than Hercules in the endgame.
Yeah, he doesn't bring anywhere near the amount of control to the table. Ionix taking a lot of damage, dashing away now. That ultimate's going to stun him, but I doubt they can follow this up without an ultimate from Anister, and it is, of course, on cooldown.
Yeah, oh, but he's still going in there, going for the speed buff. Reach is going to be used. Shield wall is going to be used for the reach. No, double tap there. Taunt, Andy's in trouble, though. He has used a lot of what makes Thor powerful. He's trying to get up. Can Jeff Hindla get the save? And he does.
Yeah, Geb Shield is there, and he's going to get out of there. And I want to point out a very, very important part of that play from Anister. He baited the Athena taunt, feeds it, and then used Berserker's Barrage to avoid that ability going on cooldown.
That's right. I mean, if she taunts during BB, I mean, that's it. It's done.
He's out of damage at that point.
It is a channeled spell. It will just completely be removed. Damage is gone, so very, very strong play coming out from Andy.
Yeah, really excellent stuff. Left side lane. Let's check in with our duo lane hunters as Barracuda and Snoopy go toe-to-toe. Barra, level 13, as well as Snoopy. Overall gold per minute, about 60 gold per minute in favor of Apollo at this stage.
Omega is currently laughing at Divios as he attempts to damage him. Omegatron actually healing a lot of that back up. You're seeing Divios run back with the tail between his legs.
Yeah, all things cold here, though. Most of the gods sitting above level 10, they have managed to give themselves, max level in their 2 damaging abilities, plus 1 level in each of the utilities, and they're really starting to come to a head. Right side camps were picked up there for Cognitive Prime, and now Red's looking for some kind of answer as the right side lane continues to be a slap fight.
You know, we really haven't heard so much from Snoopy. We saw the Desert Fury. It obviously helped in the team fight, but aside from that,
Yeah, he's been quiet.
the tower has taken like 2 hits maybe, and because Bear respawned, went back to the base, I don't see anything happening here at all.
Yeah, Barracuda definitely playing the Barracuda style, allowing the fight to come to him, and Snoopy maybe getting a little bit frustrated.
Did you see Boosh just stare down that stun like, you're nothing to me, son? I love it.
He don't care.
Again, right side, Divios trying to just answer back, of course, using the Seething Howl, and then the AoE Brutalize to do some damage. Again, Omega is just activating Mitigate Wounds and laughing it off.
Yeah, there's very little that the Fenrir can do against the Hercules in lane. Plus, Driving Strike is just free if they're brutalizing. So
that's true.
How do you really fight this? Divios really stretching this god.
Uh-oh, 3-man taunt, ultimate coming in. There's the boost, getting a big hit onto Jeff Hindla already. And he goes down. Ionic somehow saving himself, but gets picked off by Stealth. Stealth in a bad spot here, but only Boosh to stop it out. And Barracuda in the back line. Ult's gonna find Gars.
Here comes Omega. He's gonna have a boulder over the wall if he wants
Beautiful.
it. Boosh is very, very low. Snoopy does find that kill in MLC Stealth, and it's gonna be Omega just securing the escape for the boys of Prime.
Oh, Divios diving in here, looking for the Brutalize. He manages to go forward here with the Ragnarok. Nothing gonna catch. No Gold Fury available. Not even a mid camp. That's a wasted ultimate, front to back.
Yeah, they could have maybe aggressed to the orange buff here on the left side. With that Fenrir, obviously the ultimate not going to contribute much there, but at least going to be able to get the positioning right and let Soupy loop around. But instead, they're going to leave it up, and that's really good news for Andenser to continue his jungle dominance.
Right now, Gars took a big hit there. Going down in that fight at level 11 forces still the 3-level separation between the two. Omega low mana right now. I don't know how long he'll be able to fight through this.
Yeah, all things told here, the issue seems to be this Nemesis on the side of Cognitive Red. Only level 12. No chin size active yet, 15 minutes in. She is about, with only 500 gold in hand, she's quite some way from finishing those off. It's going to be maybe a 22, 23 minute chin size. I'm not sure that's going to be enough, but she's going to be useful enough through this next Gold Fury.
Honestly, I don't think Gars is utilizing the character effectively. We should have seen way more rotations coming out to the solo lane, using the ultimate to strip away the health and protections of Hercules and letting Fenrir do what Fenrir does best from 1 to 9, and that's just shred health.
Yeah, so I mean, so often, even with just the protection stripping from the Nemesis ultimate into the Kraken, we've seen that be a really popular combination.
Sure.
It hasn't come to fruition.
Oh, nice cleanup of the ward there by Ionic and dodging the shockwave as well. Andy has a spot here. Double tap gonna hit just the boost, but for about 50% of his health.
So I officially just have no idea what's going on here. No wing blades bought in this game, even those are Poseidon. Right, like the last game there was like 2 slows and everyone's buying the wing blade. Here we're getting nothing out of that.
Maybe they forgot.
Did Divios just pick up a value Morningstar?
What? No, oh, wait, Divios? Are you,
Yeah.
why? 10 power? Was it an accident?
Could have gotten a Death's Toll and been way more mana.
Well, it's gonna be a Transcendence. I mean, he's not gonna go into Heartseeker.
Right,
It's
yeah,
unlikely he'll take hi-rez, right? He'll take the major burst. Oh, and he's going up.
Yeah, they're looking for, in the backside here, Boosh, as you see, and he gets bursted really hard, and down he does go to Omegatron. There's a port into the tower with Omega still in the front line. Here comes Divios. Can he help turn this fight? I just don't think he has the damage here. He's going to bring Jeff Himla back in the tower range. Snoopy's trying desperately to join this fight, but here comes the spin to win from Andenser, doing a lot of damage. Gars is going to fall as well to MLT Stealth. Not enough hit points there to deal with the knock. She will fall as well, and Omega trying to fight his way out of Desert Fury. He's going to avoid the pin, dashing forward now as well, but here comes the Athena.
Oh, there comes Apollo as well. Diving down, Divios in a bad spot, trying to get away, but Barracuda finds the shot with so beautiful. Snoopy answering back, but goes down almost. Oh, we're going to, actually, no, jumping in place, still alive, trying to find Andy, doesn't find the Impale, fighting 3. 2 more shots at maximum is going to kill him. Does he have the speed to get it?
No ultimate available for Snoopy. Now knocked up. He's 50 seconds away.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
However, Brandon, we didn't call it, but in that fight, Cognitive Gaming finds yet another Gold Fury.
All Barracuda. That's what it is, man. Barra front to back again. Gets the Gold Fury with the team. Dives into the fight in the back. Helping it out all the way that he can. 7 kills ahead. 6,000 gold at 17 minutes. That's a very serious lead.
Yeah, but can Cognitive Prime transition this into a victory? There's still a lot of towers on the board. 2 tier 1 still remaining on the side of red, and it just doesn't feel like they're really out of this one yet.
Well, Nox and Poseidon are probably going to even out in terms of damage based on if the Kraken hits, right?
Yes.
Thor going to do a little bit less damage than Nemesis in the end game. Hercules is going to absolutely body through Fenrir. And Apollo generally is just a better presence on the map and will have slightly better boxing potential in the end game than on her. So honestly, with their lead, with their levels, and then with their comp, it seems like Cognitive doesn't really have a flaw here. It's just up to them to protect the lead.
Yeah, overall, looking at that composition, one thing stands out to me here. It's that 15 kills have had a Thor in them out of the 16 total for Cognitive Gaming. Just excellent play by Andenser. He's been all over the map and really, really helped dictate the pace of this game.
Next up is going to be a Shifter Shield as well, meaning he's going to get a major spike. Omega has the driving strike on cooldown. Finally, we're seeing the rotation, but it's a 3-man push here. Boulder will do some damage, but Omega's going to get trashed.
Ooh, and he drops down, but he's not going to be able to save the teammate. Geb rotates over as well, but nothing cooking here as Cognitive Red finds themselves a kill on a high-value target.
So, Fire Giant probably not going to be taken. They're under-leveled, they're under-farmed. It's just not something we're going to see.
No damage items out.
They could go here for the tower. Jeff Himla should have a decent amount of sustainability here. Ionic, tanking it up. I don't know how I like this one.
Yeah, they're going to wait for the wave. Here comes the wave. He's going to leash it back to the main minion here. And yeah, they'll take this tower pretty easily. The Fenrir steroid there coming out, his number 2. The Seething Howl doing a lot of work.
Barris 1 hit on the top. Bear's one hit right now. Boost trying to find it. Bear's just trying to get to a tower. Sprint going to be used. He slowed. Stealth finds a kill. He's still away. Can he? Oh, why is he turning around? Why is he doing this? Why did he do that?
I have no idea. I think he realized that he was being closed in on from behind as well. In the meantime, though, MLC Stealth finds his second kill in the return on the right side, and they'll take a tier 1 of their own, will Cognitive Prime.
Right, so Devios and Gars go down, trading out for Barracuda, and I guess technically Omega, although Omega has respawned. Tier 1 for Tier 1 trade in the solo lane. Cognitive Gaming maintains their lead.
Yeah, they keep it a parity there at least, although they do lose Barracuda deep into the enemy jungle. They spent a lot of time trying to suss him out, and it does yield that tower and the double kill on the right side. Making space is the good way to look at that.
Taking a look at levels here, Snoopy, level 19, actually highest in the game, despite the fact that his team is significantly behind. They have to utilize the damage coming out from on her, and they're going to start utilizing it right now by shredding some health off that Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, he's going to do some damage here. He's going to pop his sprint. Thor is up, but will he be able to find it is a question. No, I'm sorry. Thor is not up. I'm completely off the mark there.
He was standing still on the map.
Yeah, he was just standing still.
I respect the call. That's an old caster trick. Whenever you see Thor stop moving, like, oh, he's gonna ult.
Yeah, that's our the tips of the trade, ladies and gentlemen.
See, now you can all be casters.
There you go. Thor stops, he's ulting.
Nemesis on the top side, going to be able to get this speed buff. It looks like uncontested, although they're giving up pressure in the mid lane. I don't know if Andy and Omega want to dive this.
Mid camp's coming back up. Right side is here, but Cog, they're more interested in the boost. Boost baited in here. He's silenced out. He has the ultimate on him as well. Guaranteed stun coming through, and now the damage as well. And yes, he will go down. Anderson and MLC Stealth combining for that kill. Now it's Guard. Guard stunned out. Guard's dashing. One more dash available. Now they're able to chase him down. Anderson teleporting. Landon, sir? Why you don't go forward?
Why didn't Omega throw the boulder?
Oh,
there was a lot of questionable plays there. Snoopy once again sending away Apollo. Tier 1 going to be traded out. Gar's just trying to find a way out of this mess. He's really not that fast, even with that speed buff. Oh, stun boys. He wasted the shield.
He really should have, so he should have just counted down the 10 seconds before he fell out of combat and sacrificed himself to the Phoenix if he could.
I agree.
That was a play he should have been looking for.
He should have went to the tower.
Well, I think that he thought that it was maybe a little bit too soon and was trying to make it to that right side tier 2.
Maybe he could have shielded first.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, there was definitely better options than what he chose, and a beautiful play from Andy. He's going to find that kill there, and now lead by 9 kills, extend their lead back up to that 6K mark. This is big.
Gold Fury respawns right now. Cognitive in wonderful position for it. They're contesting at the red buff as well. Cognitive Red now realizes their jungle is compromised, and the Gold Fury is going to be the next target here for Cog Prime. They're going to start this one up. They're going to leave Jeff Hinla and Omega in the front line. They have ward coverage on the right. They have ward coverage in the back.
They're blowing it up.
Devios is trying to set the line of demarcation for his team, but he just can't push forward enough, and he's starting to get damage. And Gold Fury goes to Cognitive Prime. No answer from Red. Devios silenced out, and here comes the damage.
Barracuda's up in the air. Huge Unchained coming from the back line, but it's Omega that's tanking it out. MLC Stealth finds a kill with the ult in the front. Oh, we're actually going to get a kill onto Andy. Jeff Hinla very low, and there's finally the boulder hitting everyone.
Boulder hits every target there that they were looking for. It's a double kill for Omega to date. Eonic's going to try to run away from this one, but the damage coming through from the Nox. It's a big Poseidon.
Oh, Barracuda with the beads.
But he's going to beads it out. Will he dash forward in the tower here? No. He will not. He says, my name is John, not Steve. I am not Zatman. I live today.
Barracuda using a level 2 beads to try to bait out the shot. Level 3 would have confirmed it with the cooldown reduction, but he's smart. He lets it go, uses the creeps to push into the tower, and I'm sure he's going to stick this one and try to clean it up. Another 1,500.
Yeah, that's a nice tier 2 pickup there, and that's a really morale-killing moment where you just see the Apollo by himself with 2 minions taking your tower, and you know you can't stop it.
So have you heard about Hercules?
One time.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right.
Seems to be doing well today. Jeff Hinla rotates in level 15 right now, exerting dominance once again. Sentry wards not quite in range of each other, only about 3 yards off, which is
really close.
Pretty rough.
Yeah, just out of range is that red sentry. But another sentry will clean it up. Cognitive still sniffing out that there was a ward there.
Devios right now, level 17, 3 levels behind Omega, and Omega's been sitting on 20 for a minute now.
Now the counter ward is counter warded once again by Cognitive Red as they try to maintain vision in their jungle, but there's a really, really deep ward that they haven't countered, as well as the sentry already sitting in the Fire Giant pit. You can see that Jeff Hinla is just standing there like, you will not have this ward.
So right now, Bart, Nox is the highest player damage. Can you believe it?
I can. I mean, she puts out a lot of harass damage, Brandon.
Right there, actually sending Devios away. Again, tail between the legs. He took about a third of his health right quick and is going to go over to help Snoopy with the blue.
Your boy Hercules picking up a 5th item hammer.
Was that Heavy Hammer?
Yeah.
That's my man.
That's a, what do you think about that pickup?
I love it. I think late game heavy hammers are fine, although it should be noted that we do have a sprint coming out onto Devios, which could be a Heavenly Agility.
Yeah, you think so?
It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it does really like amplify the healing out of that Seething Howl, and with the Transcendence, he can transition into some kind of in-hand or late game.
Well, then it also makes you immune to slows. It's 6-second team of slow immunity.
Fair enough, right? But they're the side with the Poseidon. Where are the slows on Cognitive Gaming that they're really mitigating?
So Cognitive, all right, so let's see.
None, really?
Jeff has 2 slows, and now Omega has 1.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't seem like the kind of team that has really that slow potential. I expect this probably will be the Sprint 3, because I am expecting Devios to try to transition this into some kind of late game in-hand build.
We have
what else can he do?
There are a lot of sprints already. I suppose they don't really need to speed up Nemesis anymore. They don't really need to speed up Ionic. I mean, he's built into pretty heavy tanks. Sovereignty's online. Magi's Cloak is online, which will be blessing soon enough.
Yeah, it's you know, so does Devios transition this Fender now into a Magi's 5th item, or does he continue building damage?
It's hard to say. I mean, when it comes down to Devios, what are we looking at here? I mean, it's a late game Fenrir, right?
Yep.
He's just got his boots online. He has the Transcendence, which was the value Morningstar that we talked about.
Right.
And he's kind of just trying to grind up. He's level 18. He's very far behind, even after gaining first blood.
Well, we are back in the game, ladies and gentlemen. 24 minutes, 35 seconds. If you are just joining us, it's 23-12 kills in favor of Cognitive Gaming, and they have enjoyed a lead the entire game, but they have grown it now to 14,000 experience and nearly 10,000 gold as they look to keep their tournament hopes alive, down 1 game versus Cognitive Red.
Andy's backing. Andy's backing, and if they notice that they have an advantage here, this could be terrible for Prime. Red has to move forward right now, whether they know it or not. This is their advantage, but look at the faux aggression coming out. Barracuda just showing that he's in control makes them think that he actually is. This is a bluff. He's got 2-7 in the pocket.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
There's no wards on the Cognitive Prime side of the map from Red. They have no way to know where that Thor might be, and especially not on deep on the right side.
That's why it's a bluff.
Right. But I mean, it's a pretty knowledgeable play there by Cog Prime to expect that those aren't there, and really maybe a misplay by Red to not have a deep ward on the right side.
Speaking of wards, they completely control coverage right now. Jeff's going to lose the bubble from Magi as they turn their sights to the tier 2 tower on the right side, and nobody's coming to help this one.
Omega surging forward here on that Hercules. The bubble activated around in front of Magi's blessing means he can pick up 1.
Why, Garz? Why?
And Garz has gone in because they want to make a play on a Barracuda, but he takes to the sky and goes across the sky, and he's got to be looking for Devios on the backside here. Moving forward with the chariot, Devios is going to leap, and here comes Barracuda. No, he circles back around, still looking for a place to land. Where's it going to be? He's going to try to disrupt the fight. He's going to find Snoopy in the backline. It's so aggressive. There's Desert Fury, but he still finds the kill. Barracuda's going to live through the Desert Fury, and now the turn comes as Garz finds the kill in a stealth.
But Devios jumps right back in after the heal. He teleports to the ward, trying to keep his team alive. Seething Howl does a decent amount of healing. Barracuda takes a lot of damage there. Oh, and finds a kill, somehow escaping again. Double driving strike from Omega. Barracuda immediately turns his sight to the mid lane. Ionic must go down for them to win this, but I just don't see how they could chase him out.
30 seconds is the shortest cooldown right now to Garz, now sitting at 24 seconds. Mid Phoenix is starting to take the pressure and starting to go down.
Omega needs to go rip him out of the fountain right now. If he does, he wins, but he doesn't see it. He's going to go for it, though, guys. Everyone eyes on Hercules.
Magi's is back up. It's not going to be able to get the pull, but now they're going to pile in on the Titan. Cognitive Prime wants to take this one to the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The Titan is falling 70%, 68. Ionic doing what he can, trying to get the body block and focus that Titan aggression onto the damage dealer. Jeff Handler forced to reset it. Here comes Garz. No one's available. Jeff Handler's starting to fall. Are they all in at this point? 30% on the Chaos Titan, 28%. Garz falling low, and Cognitive Prime, they want to stick in.
Omega's down.
Fall. Barracuda still checked. Now here comes Snoopy. They're going to push Prime out of the base. Cognitive Red holds.
Right there. Barracuda put himself in a really, really awkward spot. Gar's gonna chase this, guys. Remember Retribution. Remember Retribution. Remember Retribution. Remember Retribution. He gets him, and Barracuda goes down.
Anderson in a lot of trouble. Devios on the sprint. He's here. There's leaping forward, and Anderson falls as well. It's a return 4 kills for Cognitive Red. The Gold Fury as well, and they have helped equalize their experience disadvantage.
Did you see that right there? They weren't doing the Gold Fury. They were using the Gold Fury to heal up so they could do Fire Giant.
Here they go. They're going to make the rotation to the right side of the map. Not much Nox by herself can do about this, but Jeff Inlet is coming back up.
Well, let's find out, shall we? She has her kit up. I mean, the ultimate's ready. If she hits the 3 she's looking for, it's going to be up to Big D to try to keep her out.
Nope, there's no way she can get in now. Fire Giant already falling into kill threshold. 1, 2, 3. Fire
No
Giant.
way.
Cognitive Red. They take it back after nearly falling to Prime. And Cognitive Red says, look, there's only one Cognitive team that knows when to end, and it's us.
Ionic might just have earned his team at least $500,000. Like, that play by itself was incredible. The chase coming out from Gars, he knew 100% what he was getting himself into with 200 health. Turns the fight around. Big D comes out of nowhere, helps them get the Fire Giant. Suddenly, despite the fact that they're down by 10,000 gold, they have the Fire Giant, they have the control, expect the push in the mid lane here. Guys, eyes on Barracuda. He's going to be the one that needs to plug out the damage here because at this point in the game, Nox is just getting handled.
Well, the crazy part is, like, where is the damage coming from on Cognitive Red? Right, Underfarm Nemesis, Fenrir,
Nope.
Winged Blade Poseidon,
Not really.
Athena, or your chin-size Executioner on her, right? Like, how are they finding these damage in this fights to make this happen?
Man, the Zap build is real.
And the answer is that Nemesis, even though she's so underfarmed and under-itemized, has put on 18,000 damage.
That's true. I mean, that's the power of Nemesis. She's shredding the right targets, getting the protection off. Devios is coming in, and while he's not putting up the big boy numbers, he's getting 3-man stuns. He's pulling people in the right direction. He's baiting ultimates. I mean, this is what we want to see. Now, Cogred's Titan still stands a little bit low, sitting at about 40% health, but they're pushing up the mid lane effectively, and Cog Prime knows that they can't fight this.
Yeah, they really can't. I mean, they do not want to aggress into really the hold that just came out of Cognitive Red, plus that Fire Giant buff. Definitely, once again, one of those kind of moral disappointments on the side of Cognitive Prime. They go for the victory there, and the emotion and the adrenaline that you get from going for that and then having it fail, how do they respond is the big question mark for me.
I think a lot of players right now have the mindset of, okay, we botched that, but we're still massively in the lead. Wait out FG and we'll push again. This game is still ours. And I probably agree. I still think this game is in favor of Cognitive Gaming by a very significant margin. And despite the fact that Fire Giant's available, I just don't see how they could even push into the tier 2. They're using this time just to get the fire creeps down, which is smart.
Yeah, but what you gonna do about the Nox once the Soul Trap is completed?
Oh man, Nox is gonna be swinging, dude. I mean, that's all it comes down to. She hits you with the silence and then ult, you're gonna be holding 40-50% of your health, and then the 3's gonna come off in another 25%. Ult pops, she could 0 to death you.
Yeah, and the Nox here in this game, a very non-conventional build, which is strange to say, but for this tournament, we haven't seen really any full kind of damage builds coming out.
Right there, Andy tries to use Tectonic Rip to bleed the Magi's off Ionic. Instead, she dodges, and then he takes a taunt to the face, losing his own. Phoenix is back up, 2 waves of fire minions to deal with.
Magi's shenanigans coming out indeed. They have about 20 seconds before their Magi's are back up between the Thor and the Geb. Maybe looking to wait before they initiate into this.
Oh, what's going here? Ionic going deep, gonna find a big shot. MLC Stealth using a very good Aegis, but Barracuda has taken a lot of damage.
And he's up. And Thor looking for a target. Boulder coming through, not finding anything.
Big misses.
Yes, a nice split by Cogred, and now they have the Fire Giant buff to go for this continued engagement.
Oh, Barracuda.
1 HP left as he gets out. Grabbing MLC Stealth is Divios, but the beads come out from the Nemesis, but she's paper thin at this stage in the game. Wigil Warlock back down she goes. Cogred surges forward. Anderson trying to recall here. I don't think they catch anybody. Omega's gonna be a tough one to pick up, but they do have an Athena.
They're going for it. Looks like they're going to turn their sights.
They're picking out the tier 2.
Yeah, they're going to turn their sights immediately to the tier 2, dropping a sentry for vision. Snoopy keeping the pressure in the mid lane, forcing a non-back coming out from Omega. We're going to see Andy rotate down. He'll spot it out, and we're going to see a boxing match.
Yeah, tier 2 is going to go easily in favor of Cogred, and now it's Andy.
Andy can't fight this.
Snoopy in
Andy's
a lot
dead.
of trouble. Andy does fall. Boosh rotates over as well, and now here comes Gars wanting to surge forward and find the kill into Omegatron, but they may settle for just a second tier 2 of the push.
Omega's Magi's get bled off as well as you see the taunt coming through. They're going to go right for the Phoenix here. Bear's up, Jeff's up, Omega's up, but they lost Stealth, they lost Andy, and there's 5 people with FG.
That's so much of their control in these fights, the silence and the threat of the Thor stun, and that Phoenix melted.
Just absolutely destroyed. We're seeing about 75% health now for the top Titan. Right side Phoenix gonna go down. Cognitive Red answering back big time, and the boulder right there, again, hitting 1 last time, hitting none. Omega not showing the same prowess as Big D.
Yeah, they only have the 1 Phoenix down in the mid lane that's gonna be on the weaker respawn, does Cognitive Red, where 2 Phoenixes have gone down. Granted, they were the middle and right side Phoenixes, so not getting that extra map pressure from having the far side Phoenix down, but they have a tier 2 still standing over there, does Cognitive Prime, and that's much to their credit. Fire Giant, he is coming back up shortly. 23 seconds left for the big boss, and well, that's where the next fight is definitely going to be breaking out.
Devios is just hitting. I mean, he literally just hit level 20, 33 minutes into the game. Anybody would be screaming at that boy in ranks, but honestly, how much pressure he's had, so much control in team fights. I don't know what would have happened if Barracuda didn't get out of that last fight with the 1 health he got out of, if that defense didn't exist.
Well, what would have happened if this Fenrir was shocked?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Snoopy here. Why is he doing this red buff?
Whoa.
There's a fight at FG.
Yes, this is bad news. They do not have their honor, nor will they have the honor.
Garz is
going to fall here. MLC Stealth finds a kill. A serial misplay here from Cognitive Red. They're in some trouble. Here comes Anderson Crash again. It's a Kraken though to hold off the Surgeons forward. Omegatron puts out the boulder, but doesn't have a lot of damage at this stage. They pile in on Divios, but he's just too tanky with his HP efficient items. Now Barracuda getting pulled back, but Divios realizes that he's put himself in a very, very difficult place. They get Garz. Garz not the most important target to take down, but it certainly doesn't hurt here. And well, Fire Giant. Wow, look, they back completely. This is free. Fire Giant to God Grind.
They don't have a choice. There's no way they're going to get through with the Nox still full health. You saw last time they had an all-in. Oh, teleport! Can he get it? Can he get it? No, Eonic is in a bad spot. This could be GG. Eonic's down. Devios is in trouble. Devios goes down. Snoopy puts himself in the big. Oh, I don't know what he's going to do here.
Yeah, it's now a 5v2 in favor of Cognitive Gaming, plus the percentage HP regen of the Fire Giant buff. Oh, Cog Prime, they're looking for the victory here, but they have to be careful. It still can turn back away from them. Garz is going to come back up now. And yes, they're going to call this push off, and they're going to heal up with the Fire Giant buff, regroup, and try to make a consolidated push.
They went for the all-in gamble steal. If Eonic would have taken that, I just don't know what I would have thought. Honestly, the two main points there were, one, Garz had no business being as far up as he was, and two, Snoopy did not need a red buff.
Right, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the red buff, just a greedy play.
I mean, if you take a look at the red buff timer on the top side, 90 seconds have elapsed since he's taken it, and we have literally not seen him throw a spear at somebody. He has effectively even wasted the red buff.
Yeah, it was a poor call, certainly. Divios and Garz both sitting on a red pot now, and you can tell the Cognitive Red are feeling the pressure as they start to really, as you mentioned there already, that all-in style of strategy. I mean, they continue to kind of go for this stuff. The red pot's coming out, and these very all-in items, a damaged Fenrir are going to be the focus of their push.
Hercules Frostbound Hammer, of course, is online. Those are big slow potential. Midgardian Mail is finished. Pretty much everyone on the side of Cognitive Gaming is 6 items. We're seeing the Soul Reaver has come out. Wingblade is started here in the Adventurer's Blade. And taking a look at the Golden Hand, Nox needs about 400 to be able to finish that one up.
Barracuda has gone for the traditional Hunter build here. We haven't seen this one in a while. Executioner, Rage, Deathbringer, Titan's Bane after his open of Boots and Gloves. So he's got a lot of damage against these gods.
He can crit down very, very quickly. Nobody is safe. Granted, there's not a ton of tankiness coming out. Devios, of course, has gone more into burst.
Yeah, and there's 2 Witchblades, however, though, that help slow down that attack speed, but it's only going to take 1 or 2 shots from the Apollo to take down any of the weaker targets.
All right, so, ooh, right side. Yeah, it looks like taking care of the fire minions. Omega's forcing the split push.
Right, yeah, and this is nicely played here by Cognitive Prime. With their Fire Giant buff, they're able to hold off the 2 Phoenix lanes that did go down. Right side going to be pushed all the way up to the enemy Phoenix. Mid lane still being contested by Cognitive Prime, but the Phoenix back up in the right as of now and starting to regen.
That's true. I mean, both sides are now getting pushed out completely. You see all of Cognitive Prime pushed up directly on Cog Red's front door, but now backing off. Only about 90 seconds left on their Fire Giant. Expect that we're going to see a play within the next minute.
Barracuda takes on the last wave of Fire Minions on the right side while Cognitive Prime continues to hold the mid lane. No more Fire Minions available for Cognitive Red, and once again they're forced to try to hold their base versus the oncoming onslaught of Cognitive Prime.
Andy has not had good luck trying to bleed off the Magi's with Tectonic Rift. Right side, there are wards in the lane to ensure there's no split pushes. Shots coming out in all points, but no one's really taking damage yet.
Deep counter wards from Cognitive Prime to try to spot out these wards that are going to belie their rotations here. Moving forward to Jeff Hinland, he's found his mark. Boulder over the top. Nope. They're not going to use the ultimate from Cataclysm on the Geb. Here comes Divios moving forward once again with the Athena. This is their preferred method of initiation. Divios takes a lot of damage for his trouble, and he's going to get stunned back out. Barracuda flying around will find nothing on the
Stealth in trouble.
Stealth is taking a lot of damage now as Garz continues in this fight. Here comes Divios Ragnarok online looking for Stealth. Will find Stealth, but will get the driving strike out. Stealth will fall, but so will Divios. No, I'm sorry, he lived through that with just 50% HP.
Oh my god. Snoopy actually healing up. Mid Phoenix was already weakened. They're going to be able to take that one down. Right side going to get pressure. Snoopy barreling down. He knows that there's a full rank Phoenix. Fire Giant still up for 20, which means extra damage. Devios trying to find a way to the backline, dodging and actually taking a ton of shots from Barracuda.
Yeah, he got mezzed out by Barracuda there. Nicely played. But these crits are starting to get very, very dangerous.
Oh, double tap.
Yeah, the double tap looking nice there. Barracuda continues to search for it. Audacity activated, and he's going to start whittling away at this tower. Omegatron putting the damage to this
They got
wall,
it.
and they take 2 Phoenixes now. Do Cognitive Prime as they continue to say we are not dead yet, even after that heartbreaking dive into the Titan.
That's true. 11 kills. Their senior Cognitive Prime knows that the next contention point is going to be Fire Giant, but this time there are 2 lanes of fire minions that now Cognitive Red needs to deal with.
This one looks like, I mean, this game has the potential to go down to a base race, to be perfectly honest with you. It looks like both of the tier 2 still stand on the left side. Both of the Phoenixes in the mid and the right lane have gone down for both teams. I mean, this is a game that's teetering back and forth like a refrigerator, and eventually it's going to fall on somebody.
I just don't see how you could possibly base race against Hercules Apollo. Then again, Trident does a pretty ridiculous amount of damage.
Trident will put out 1,500 damage to the Titan in about 6 seconds. No problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. What is Boosh doing? Does he not know about how the Fire Giant has a buff?
Well, Fire Giant's coming back up in 10 seconds now.
Oh, and nobody on red is in position, except for, I suppose, Iana could ult to anywhere, but Nemesis is not in the right spot. Fire Giant respawns right now, and Barracuda is ready to go.
Yeah, they start whittling away at him, and look how fast the Fire Giant's dropping. There's just no response from Cogred. They're pinned into their base.
They're letting it go, I guess.
I don't even know.
They might not know what they're
This may
doing
just
yet.
happen so fast that I'm not sure they even know that it's
over.
happening.
It's over.
An excellent play by Cognitive Prime there, knowing how powerful their Apollo was at 39 minutes. This is also, I believe, the longest game we've had in the tournament.
Yeah, 39 minutes deep right now. We're getting close to the 2/3 of an hour mark. And, you know, that starts to be a major player fatigue. People tend to all in more at this stage of the game.
Right, yeah, they want to move on to the next game, but Cognitive Prime, they have to keep their cool. They are facing elimination in this game. They cannot let Cog Red break their base here. So the red team, they are up 1-0 against the blue team currently, and they're trying to hold on and make this so that they don't have to play a 3rd game, but they've had their base broken twice. They did get a big resurgence off of the first, but they nearly lost to do it. And now once again, Cognitive Prime comes a knocking.
All right, so Jeff Hinla's tanking this one up. He's going to get a ton of regen for Fire Giant. Geb Shield should be actually probably not used here. They want to make sure it stays fresh.
Yeah, and he's going to be just fine, the regen, and plus the HP pool on Jeff Hinla this time is just madness.
Fire minions are burning down 2 lanes, forcing a defense while their 3rd Phoenix is getting broken down.
Yeah, exactly what Cognitive was looking for here. They pressure the left side lane while the right side gets pressured by the Fire minions. Moving forward is Omega, and he wants to find a pick on a guard.
I don't see that happening. Gar's diving deep. Oh, maybe it will. Oh, he's dead.
Wow, the damage coming to that knock. Unbelievable, especially with that Soul Reaver online. She's doing tremendous amounts of damage, and in comes Andancer. Barracuda continues to float. He's waiting out the shell, and now the 3rd Phoenix goes down. The Titan is very, very weak. They erase Snoopy. Cognitive Prime comes moving forward. They want the victory here. This time they're going to go for it. 50%, 40%. 30% HP remaining here, moving under 30 to 20. MLC still picks up Ionic. The Titan falls. Cognitive Prime forces game number 3.
This is the first game 3 or set force that we are going to see in this tournament. A lot of people expected it from the team kill. We're going to have an advantage going to Cognitive Red after an amazing performance from Prime, as they're going to have their choice of first pick, first ban.
We're all at 1 apiece here now, and Cognitive Red, they get to choose their side, as Brandon illuminated there in his last lovely speech segment. Brandon did a great job today. Also doing a great job, Brandon, you're amazing.
yeah.
You really are. No, Dry Bear and Golden Boy, you guys have been doing great. Tell us what we saw once again before we come back to the commentary desk for game number 3.
That was incredible. Incredible. I loved it. Every second of that game.
That was a game. And honestly, I mean, game 1 was the same way. This was even longer, and I don't think my heart can take any more of those plays. Gold Furies, 2 Fire Giants, Jeff the Sex Hinla with that Fire Giant secure, Cog Red. You know what? Let's talk about the Sex, okay?
Let's just go in.
This guy is absolutely phenomenal. It looked like Cog Red was going to take it back, but because Jeff Hinla was there, they could not do it. Geb right on screen. He's got 0 multi-kills. He's got 1 killing spree, but he doesn't need it because this guy's a champion.
Jeff the Sex Hinla, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
love how his name is The Sex. And
Yeah, no, he has no name.
No, it's the Jeff Hinla Sex.
The Jeff Hinla Sex.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's what that young man is right there. I mean, look at him. I mean, really.
beautiful.
Just go to just go to the City Hall. Just change your name, dude. That's what you are.
Oh my
From now on.
God! This...
Honestly, that'd be the coolest thing ever. I'm blown away. Anyway, let's jump into some analysis.
Can we start with the first blood? Can we just start
Yes,
with that?
let's
Because
go ahead.
this was a cog red game. Okay, heavy hammer, Fenrir.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, you start with it, you get the stun. The double stun was perfect there by Divios. He jumps in, he stops them, interrupts them. Omega seems like he was going to have that one, but the heavy hammer secured that kill. And it seemed like, I mean, losing game 1, going into game 2, you lose first blood to cog red. That doesn't feel very good. I mean, to you, Zim, what is it like going into a game 2 of best of 3, being down 1 and losing first blood?
I don't know. I mean, there's so much money on the line here. You just can't let it affect you in any way. Just keep on going. I mean, Red won first game, Prime won this game. Prime almost pulled a Cloud9. I'm really happy they did not, because now we get a third game, and it's like these are the best games we've seen here so far.
Yeah, incredible. Also, another thing to note too, first game 3 that we're going to see.
First game 3.
First game 3. So of course, for the last matchup of the day, it couldn't happen any other way. All right, Allied, over to you. What were some of the key points to take away from that game? It looked like Prime had it wrapped up in that first push to Titan, and then it fell apart. Red were able to fight back. They were able to win Fire Giant, and it looked like Red might have been able to push back there.
I think if Red stole Fire Giant with the teleport Athena combo, like just outright stole Fire Giant, yeah, Cog Prime probably would have pulled a snipe. I don't know. Like they absolutely like the push, I think, was a little bit too risky. I think they just wanted to end it, and they just came back and held. So I think if Cog Red came back, stole Fire Giant, I don't know. I overall feel that was a pretty key factor of the game.
The chat was going crazy. A lot of people were chanting
going
shades
crazy.
of Cloud9 on that one. Zim, I mean, that could have happened.
It was really close to happening. Like Ella said, if they actually got that Fire Giant.
Well, first tell us what you're mentioning. What is this Cloud9 reference?
Oh, it's Cloud9 were basically like one hit away from killing Titan's Titan, and that is, I don't know, they went for kills instead. I mean, they just couldn't finish up the game. Titan ended up turning the game out, and now they're here.
Nah, well, I mean,
it's harsh.
That's why they are sitting in the grand finals.
Exactly.
Here. Of course, good point there.
Shout out to Young Bay and his teammates.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now another thing, the Hercules pickup didn't play much of a factor in the game. It was effective, but it was overall Cog Prime, just great play out of them. Allied, what was it about that particular pickup that was it just them making sure that it wasn't in the hands of Cog Red?
I think going into the draft, it's very obvious that Cog Prime is playing like the keep away game. The only thing different was, so Cognitive Red won pretty, like they had a comeback factor, but they won the first game, and that was really good. However, going into the second game's draft, it was the first pick Thor, okay, pretty standard. And then first and second pick, instead of, I actually don't know why the priority on her. There's a lot of priority like on her for both teams. I'm just assuming it's like one of those like metagame like Inception things. Like it's like, well, we played each other with everything, and now we just like on her now. But honestly, they decided to go with on her over Hercules, and then Cognitive Prime instantly locked it in. So I'm not too sure why they went for that route. Maybe, and then also the Fenrir pick into on her with the wacky build. I believe it was Frostbound Hammer into
Runeforged
into
Transcendence.
Transcendence.
She didn't finish. She actually went for the boots before finishing Transcendence, which she picked up on. Was kind of
yeah, I think there was an immediate priority for Divios to rotate and have mobility, and he just, I don't know, like he didn't finish it.
I would like to mention, just people might not realize how significant Defender could be in terms of securing objectives, because if he ultimates and grabs your support, which won't ever have beads most of the time anyway, he can just pull the support away and have your own support hog the Fire Giant or Gold Furies. It's really good, just didn't really work out this time.
It was a tough call, I think, for COG Prime, and especially, let's go ahead and take a look at the Logitech First Blood for that match. We talked about it briefly earlier, but obviously, you know, the early game made a big difference because with Omegatron falling to First Blood, he had to go home and immediately buy a level 1 teleport and go back to base. But, you know, you mentioned On Her and why he's being picked. You know, I personally believe it's more about the ping itself. Remember, these guys are playing on lands. They have about 5-10 ping. The double stun comes out here, and then, you know, you can see Omega trying to disengage with a great double stun, but the heavy hammer slow keeps him in range the entire time, and it's so hard to get away from that. He's forced to buy a level 1 teleport and come back to the lane, but what brought them back here was the Gold Furies.
I agree. I mean, I'm sure we get the map up soon just to see how much control they had over the map, but Gold Furies just got the gold rolling and they had way more items.
Yeah,
I agree with Zim. It was way too. Like, it was so many objectives were taken that game. Like, I'm pretty sure Gold Fury was taken like 8 billion times. So it was actually really hard to keep track of. Like, this is where the map would be extremely important. But going into just the drafting phase as well, what also helped Cognitive Prime was they not only did it draft a solid early game comp, but it also scaled better than Cognitive Red's comp into mid to late game. They had a lot of good, like, just tankiness. Thor still has a lot of utility and setup. They had Nox. It just, everything was really good. And the Nox pick was absolutely key from early to mid game and provided a lot of utility into mid to late game. MLC Stealth played absolutely amazing.
And a few things to just pick up on. Devious had no magical defense at all.
Right.
Nox take a ton of damage to Fenrir, and it's surprising to see that they didn't get any more objectives, because a teleport Fenrir with Athena, I feel like they should have maybe gone for more Gold Fury contests.
That's great that you mentioned Nox. I have this up on my screen right now. He has top damage in the game. Shoutouts to MLC Stealth. 40,000 player damage in that match. Absolutely phenomenal. This brings us directly into the Alienware play of the game. MLC Stealth coming out hot with a double kill. Look at this rotation. Retribution shield active, and he's still staying. I'm using that shield just in case to get a little more movement speed out of it. The burst is phenomenal. And then you see looking for Didius, looking to dodge, but he hits every single ability. I think the power of Nox is that 3-second cooldown on that third ability. You can't run away from the Knight.
Absolutely. And it just shows how good MLC Stealth is to be able to flexibly pick these gods in high pressure situations. And he performed early, mid, and late game, and he was the sole reason why a lot of kills were confirmed. Not only does Nox's ult, just any ability you use hurts you, but at the end of it, you are stunned and you get a little bit of burst damage at the end.
Nox been played now this game, and Pretty Prime played it like against SK, and he also had like 9-1, something crazy like that. So Nox seems to be working really, really well. So Lobster, if you're watching, grind.
grind it out, of course. And let's actually check out the map as well, right? Because that was something that was brought up, you know, in your talk, Allied. The map played quite a role here. I mean, objectives were grabbed, you know, all over the place. Fire Giant was played a huge role at the end. Gold Fury as well. Look at Cognitive Prime, 100% on 100%. Gold Fury.
And how many is that? 8? 7, 8?
No, according to Allied, 8 billion.
8 billion.
8 billion.
But you know, you look at it right.
Wow,
the first,
gold.
so obviously First Blood went to Cognitive Red, but after that, the first 4 Gold Furies of the game, which is 6,000 gold to your team, went to Cognitive Prime. There wasn't a single Gold Fury picked up by Cognitive Red that game, but you know, with how much action went down and the fact that they got 6,000 gold out of the Gold Fury, you can still see that there's a left side tier 2 standing on both sides of the map here. This was all objective best, and even when they had that much control of the map, it was still 55-45. This is fantastic.
The thing about Cognitive Red and Cognitive Prime, which makes them so fun to watch in these kind of like series, is that they're really like this is like the plateau of skill. This is as good as you can get. You've seen so much mechanical skill coming out of each player on the team, and it really, like, which is why we've been seeing like a lot of like random 2-0s this tournament. I think this is like the highest skill level in Smite. Like, I honestly, as an NA player and an NA fanboy, I 100% think that NA just has the best players. It's the absolute top of competition for Smite.
Look at Zim's face.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, okay, I'll give you that. These games so far seems to be like, you know, the highest level of type of play we can get so far. But we'll see about Titan tomorrow. I think they're looking good. But I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the third game. I hope this third game is going to be even more epic.
Yeah, that's right. First game 3 of the day, folks. That is something to definitely get excited about. Again, you know, it just, and another thing to point out, Cognitive Prime, 55% map control.
That's right.
45, same thing that we
So
saw in the last
close.
one. I said it. Maybe they could just turn that and convert that to a victory for them. You know, that control that they have over the map definitely was the case there.
It's obvious that they're screaming at each other like all the time. I mean, you see how
That's
just
true.
how close it is. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at it, this game could have gone either way. It was so close until the end. The money was stacking up. But speaking of money.